good afternoon. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the notification bell. And today, we got ourselves a quality check with the Model Y. So without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, so we have this beautiful red Model Y. And let's do ourselves a quality check. And a quality check is basically going through the panel, and we're gonna either give it at the end a pass or a fail based on our personal standards. So let's continue on. So this is the red with the white interior. Very beautiful combination. I find the red paint on the Model Y to be spectacular. And this has the standard wheels that come with your Model Y. These are the wheels under your hubcaps. And if you were to powder coat these wheels, they look phenomenal. So let's continue on with the quality check. So let's move along to the left side here. And what we want to make sure is that the fender matches the bumper and the bumper matches the hood. And that there's no discoloration, there's no scratches, there's no swirl marks, and the car is built to the best of their ability. So also, the one thing that we want to check is that the hood sits flush with the fender and that there's no huge gap. And everything seems to be well over here. And let's continue on. So let's look at these wheels. Beautiful. Now let's take a look at the driver's side door. And let's take a look over here. Nice and tight, and that's what we want to see. There's a look at the interior. Remember, after you've done a thorough check of the exterior, you want to check the interior. You want to check the steering wheel. You want to check the center console. You want to check the seats. You want to check under the seats. You want to check your side doors, your glove box. And then when you're done with the front interior, you want to move to the back of the interior. And then after that, you check the trunk. So these are all recent builds, just been dropped off. And let's continue on with the exterior quality check. One thing that you want to check is your door handles. You want to rub one finger from this panel to this right here, and you'll be able to tell by feeling. If you feel any type of groove, then you know that there's a little bit of an issue with this Model Y. So another thing is checking the door right here. Rub one finger from this door to this door, and it should be nice and smooth. You shouldn't feel anything. Perfect. It's flush, and that's what we want to see. And the one part that I would say that Tesla has the most difficult time is the driver's side trunk over here. Look at that gap. Look how big that gap is. You can almost fit your finger in there. And this is unacceptable. Also, unacceptable is right here. This groove right here. It shouldn't be like that. The panel should be nice and tight, and this panel should be as tight as possible. So we do have ourselves an issue with this Model Y. The other thing you want to check is the charge port door. You want to make sure that it's flush with the light. Then moving on to the rear, you want to make sure that this part of the light is flush. And the groove is nice and smooth. So that is good, but we do have an issue with the left side. Taking a look at the rear, nothing that I see so far. Now, the right light, I would definitely say, does not sit flush. This part of the light pokes out a little bit, so I definitely would have an issue with this Model Y. Now, taking a look at the right side, where we normally find is better than the left side. The problem most of the time is the left side. So looking over here, it's nice and tight. And remember that gap that we seen on the left side. Now look at the gap on the right side. This is what it's supposed to look like. So we definitely have ourselves an issue over here. on the left side. Right side is beautiful. The other issue that is very common is the passenger rear door. A lot of the times it pokes out, but I can assure you that this door right here is perfect. No issues over here. But we do have an issue with this door handle poking out a little bit. Now let's check the rear wheel. Want to make sure that there's no dings and no marks. Taking a look at the glass roof. Then let's do the same door test over here. And it's nice and flush. But unfortunately, due to the fact that it has that big gap on the left side, we're going to have to give this Model Y a fail. So let's take a look at another Model Y. All right, so we have this gray Model Y, and it also has the white interior. So let's take a look at these wheels. Now let's take a look at the left side. I want to make sure that everything is in place and nothing that looks out of place. Taking a look at the front here, beautiful. And the right side, beautiful. And that's what we want to see. Now let's take a look at the right side. Taking a look at this wheel over here on the driver's side, no issues over here. Moving along to the driver's side door. You want to make sure that the gap is nice and tight. Taking a look at the interior. It's all wrapped up, ready to go. Doing the door handle test. Then moving along over here to do the door test. And I can say that 2 thumbs up so far. Taking a look at the glass roof. Now let's take a look at the rear door over here. Let's do the door handle test. And it is flush. And the door is flush. Yet again, we have ourselves another issue. The left side gap over here should be definitely tighter than what we're seeing over here. Shouldn't be able to fit your finger in there. And let's compare this left side gap to the right side gap. Remember, the gap on the left side and the right side should be consistent. So you want to make sure that you point it out to your sales rep. Now continuing on over here to the right side. We have ourselves an issue because right inside there, it shouldn't be like that. Now let's move on to the charge port door. Definitely have ourselves an issue. Doing the same test with the light, and it's flush. Taking a look at the rear. Now this light, this right side light is flush. So the thing about Tesla is that one model will be flawless and another model will be horrible. It's very weird the way Tesla builds vehicles. I don't know if it's the machines that need to be recalibrated, or is it the certain staff that they have that are causing these problems. I just don't understand. Now taking a look at the right side. So the right side gap is a little bit too big, but also now remember that top left side trunk gap. Now let's take a look at the right side. See how tight that is? See how much better it is on the right side? It should be like that on the left side, but unfortunately it isn't. So yet again, another common problem. This is passenger rear door. Let's take a look. It is poking out a tad bit. And you can tell by the feel that it's poking out. Also, this driver's side door handle is poking out. So we do have ourselves definitely an issue with this Model Y. Now, taking a look over here, doing the test, and it's not flush. So, poking out a tad bit. Now let's do the door handle. And it is flush. So, unfortunately, due to that left gap, we do have ourselves an issue, and I will not be able to pass this Model Y. It gets a fail. Now let's take a look at another Model Y. All right, So this is our final Model Y for the evening. Taking a look at the left side. And this one has the upgraded wheels. Personally, what I would do is I would get the standard wheels and I would powder coat them so they would look similar like that. It would only cost you $30 to do it yourself. What you're gonna need is to get 4 cans, 1 can per wheel, and you're gonna need to also have a jack. So it does require a little bit of a labor. If you're to pay somebody to do it, they could charge you a few $100 because it does take a little bit of time for it to do the multiple coats and for it to dry. So let's continue on over here, left side, then making sure that the front of the vehicle is perfect. It's nice and tight, and that's what we want to see. Now let's take a look at the right side. Beautiful. Now let's take a look at the wheels. And remember, these are recent drops. They've just been dropped off right off of the truck. I seen the truck here actually today dropping off the vehicles. So they're straight from the Fremont factory. And I no longer show VINs of vehicles because I used to do that and people were getting bothered about their VINs being shown online. So I've stopped showing VINs, but I can assure you that these are coming from the Fremont factory, because if you take a look at the last 7 digits, there should be a letter, either an F or an A. If it's coming out of Austin, Texas, it's going to be an A. If it's coming out of Fremont factory, you're going to get an F. And that's how you know whether the car was made at Fremont or the car was made at Austin, Texas. Now let's take a look at the driver's side door. Beautiful. So far, so good. This has the black interior, a very beautiful combination. And let's take a look at the driver's side door. Beautiful. And that's what we want to see. Oh my God. I don't know if you can see it, but look at this. Look at this gaps in right here. This is the worst I've seen today. I don't know if the camera can get it, but these gaps on this Model Y is ridiculous. Continuing on, taking a look over here. This gap right here, way too big for my liking, unacceptable. And guys, remember, we have to hold Tesla accountable for the vehicles they're planning on building. For those that are invested in Tesla and those that want them to improve, this is the only way we can get them to improve. This is why I do these quality checks. Our goal is to complain so the next consumer can gain. We want to be hard on Tesla so they start to build better electric vehicles. I want Tesla to be the #1 quality company, but they need to focus on quality instead of quantity. Now let's continue on over here to the rear. So yeah, definitely have ourselves an issue with this Model Y already. Taking a look at the rear, the left light, the right light, it's fine. Now let's take a look at the right side to see, and let's compare the gap. So the gap on the right side, you can see how tight it is and how much it is better. Now look at that gap over here. This is just tape over here, but look at that gap. It's nice and tight. And that's how it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, there's something there on the left side, the driver's side trunk gap, the top gap, that it just seems to be a problem that they cannot get their hand on. So it's our job to let Tesla know and hold them accountable for the vehicles that they build. That's the only way I see them improving, is if we file a whole lot of complaints. to let them know that, hey, we're either going to reject these vehicles or we're going to stop accepting these vehicles, because this is a very expensive vehicle. And unfortunately, this is the fail. It's a very expensive vehicle, and we shouldn't have to deal with these quality issues. We've been having them for well over a year. And at this point, I don't know what to do, because I've been doing quality checks for so long, and it's like I don't see that they're improving. All right. So if you're thinking about ordering a Tesla, remember, on delivery day, you are going to have to perform yourself a quality check. Bring somebody with you to get another set of eyes on the vehicle. Make sure to tell your sales rep. And if they say it's within spec, go to another service center. Keep booking service appointments until they fix the car to perfection. All right, so that's all I got to say. So thank you and have a nice day. Hey, would you like to win a Tesla Model 3? All you have to do is like, share, comment, and subscribe. And one lucky subscriber will win a Tesla Model 3.